executive of a healthcare company. There's not a lot of gray there.
Yeah, I agree with you. If only we could find somebody who believed the opposite. I've talked to people on Clubhouse who believe the opposite, but apparently they're just not here.
I still think that. Can you hear me okay?
Go ahead,
Okay,
Megan.
Oh, I still think though, and thinking back to Danny, he had to leave, but he was talking about his mom and his mom's bills. So even during jury selection, I can't think of a single person in the United States that hasn't been impacted by rising healthcare costs and bills and all those kinds of things. So I agree on the one hand, and this is me speaking with a non-legal mind, but from the PR optic side of it and the way that informs like just the psychology of decision making in people, I can see, yeah, it's easy. Like the videos are there, the statements are there. It's a clean cut. Like this is what happened. So nobody's necessarily disputing what happened, but I can imagine though that when jurors are sitting there, they're also reflecting back on the impact of these things on everybody's lives. So I kind of also do wonder what like the insanity side of it, like. We always talk about activists, and activists are they've gone crazy, or, people say a lot of things about activists when they're just in their rah mode and screaming and hollering and petitioning and boycotting. So I can see how that can manifest even into a more like crazy psychosis level, and not for somebody to do something like that, essentially in broad daylight, really just like as egregious and just in your face as possible, it's done. And so no one's disputing that, but I do wonder the impact of that, of the way that we engage with these things and how personal it touches our lives.
Well, one of the things that I can guarantee, and I'm speaking very specifically to the federal trial, right? Because state trials are very different, and the strategies of the prosecutors will be very different. In federal court, you are allowed to ask in the jury questionnaire, and people don't understand this who don't know the court system. So if you work in the court system, bear with me, because this is for everybody else in the room. There isn't a standard set of jury questions that are issued, right? The defense and the prosecution will cobble together what they want to be the questions on the jury questionnaire, and that will become the questionnaire that's issued. And so a judge can limit that and say, hey, I want this down to 2 pages. I want it down to 35 questions. We want this to be narrowed out. Certain questions can be disqualified for being too close to the gray areas, what you can and can't do. But there's some basic ones that I would almost guarantee will be on the jury questionnaire of, do you or your spouse have health insurance provided from an employer, right? And the prosecutor is going to try to exclude anybody who doesn't say yes to that. Step 1, the goal is going to be to make sure you have a jury full of people who get their insurance from their employer.
Good point.
You want school teachers, you want union workers, you want healthcare workers, because people who have their insurance through their employer generally have slightly better insurance. And I'm speaking from California, where frankly, even people on ACA plans here, we have phenomenal health insurance access in California. So California is kind of an awkward state. But overall, federally, you're going to look at it because if somebody works for the government, they have good health care. If somebody works for a hospital network, they have decent health care. And those are the people.
You fucking kicked me.